Hi Gemini, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is generally when you're taking care of business. King of Pentacles is you in the roles where you have something to do, something that is expected of you, something that you expect of yourself, a job to get done. I'm also seeing the Empress be there, and we are also looking at King of Wands too. Some of you, there can be somebody that you're collaborating with. It would be something creative. It could also be like a labor of love or just something where there's a complementary skill set. For those of you that this is just you on an independent level, there can be some type of like creative energy that's being asked of you where you have to put your touch on something, because generally with the King of Pentacles, it's more about, sure, it can be about craftsmanship of what it is that you're doing, but I think like consistency and competency can go a long way. Having this mix of the Empress be here adds an element of skill, adds an element of inspiration, adds an element of what we specifically see as being beautiful, and then having or what we enjoy doing or enjoy creating. Having King of Wands there can mean that this is something that you have to sort of take the initiative on, or that you have to be the one that's sort of hands-on here creating. For some of you, you can be playing one of these roles and somebody else can be playing the other role. There can be some stubbornness. Both of these energies can be stubborn. So if this is you working with another person, you can have your own ideas about how things go. This other person can sort of have their own ideas about how things go. I would say, because Venus is in between these two energies, that there would be common goals and there would be common values. And so I do feel like an agreement or also common ground can be found. And if this comes back to just being you with yourself, you can say, from the vantage point of the King of Pentacles, I want to show up and I want to be doing a good job, and also to, like, I need this to sort of yield results that I need it to yield. So it can be like maybe more financially motivated, or you want to be showing up and taking care of someone, and maybe for that reason. So they're like those worldly types of, I need to get something back from this. When it comes to King of Wands, this is, I want to show up and I want to have my own flair, and I don't want to have to mute that. I don't want to have to hide that. So there can be a, like, I want to, let's say, like in a simplistic way, King of Pentacles can be like, I want to pay the bills with what I'm doing and be doing quality work and really following the tune of that. And then also too, I want this to feel like a fresh perspective, and I also want this to feel creative, King of Wands. Or I want to be the one that's in charge here, or I want to get to say what we're doing here. So can be all of those energies mixed together. They're going to mix no matter what. Whether this be like you with yourself and you're working with those parts of yourself where you're like, I want to be in charge, but I also need to make sure that this yields what I need it to yield. And this can be you with another person where maybe one person is like, well, financially, how is that going to work? And then the other energy being like, it's about passion, or it's about shining, or it's about like my authenticity here, my vision that I have. Like, I'm not so worried about that. But this really does feel like these energies can work together, having the Empress in between. I feel like it can do all of the things that everybody needs it to do here. Like, there can be joy getting these energies to work together. Whether, again, it just be different sides of you, or it be you working with another person. Seeing 10 of Pentacles, this is going to be the goal of the King of Pentacles. So I definitely see that as being an important thing here. I kind of feel like this is a mutual goal. I don't feel like these are separate from one another. Seeing a lot of effort that's being put in. From a stable place, from a secure place. I too feel King of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles kind of gives me the feeling of somebody that knows how to handle resources and can be like how to accrue resources. That can be part of this too. So I feel an experienced energy here that's coming off of the King of Pentacles. This can be somebody where results show that they know what they're doing. Things are looking good. It feels like the work is not done and that there is still more that needs to be undertaken here. King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles does give the feeling of, look at what I've been able to do. Look at these results that I've been able to get. But then also having Seven of Pentacles feels like, and Eight of Pentacles feels like still showing up, still doing the work, still feeling empowered by this. And also too, I have more to do here. For some of you, King of Pentacles is already sort of doing their job here, and it's the King of Wands that needs to finish something up here. So this looks like maybe King of Pentacles is like, here, I got to the Ten of Pentacles, I finished what I needed to do, here are the results of it, and that the working on things has happened. But when it comes to King of Wands, this can be somebody that on their end, having Seven of Pentacles there can be like something didn't fully sort of come to fruition yet. But also too, having King of Wands can mean there needs to be initiative taken here to maybe like balance out, or so the energies can be caught up with one another. Like there can be one person who's maybe a bit more ahead when it comes to results or what they've been able to do, and King of Wands can have some more work to do, because we can see tens as a completion. It just feels like maybe something has been accomplished, but there's also more that needs to be done. And also too, it could weigh more on one person's side than it does on the other. Or for those of you that this is all your energy, it can be that on like one end of things, you've accomplished that, but there's another side of this that's not yet completed yet. And that part also needs to be finished. That also needs to, there's still room for progress there to be made, because things haven't fully come to fruition yet. Like still needing to work at this, still needing to show up. I'm seeing the Ace of Swords here. And Ace of Wands. This can be what's seen as a breakthrough opportunity, having this here, like something isn't left to question anymore. This feels like breaking ground, and that I almost feel like there's access to something that will allow for a growth potential that wasn't there before, and it allows some type of like concern or worry to be over now that maybe was a concern or worry before. Like basically, because of opportunities that are presenting themselves and because of that growth potential that is now here, that has now arrived, it allows for peace of mind that may not have been there before. Having to show up, having to do the work, feeling finally like some type of struggle is over. A breakthrough with the work being done, with the initiative that's been being taken. I want to clarify one of these cards. If there is somebody that's involved in this and like something needed to be done, I don't know if this is one of those situational things where somebody's like putting in the work and it just like takes longer to see results than it did for the other person, or if this is like somebody maybe not showing up all the way that they need to be showing up. I feel like something significant is happening here. Like, when I say significant, I mean eventful. Patience pays off. Patience is a virtue. I'm seeing something look like it's going well. I do definitely get the sense that things are coming together now. Feels like stuff that was not available before. 11/11 on the time when I looked up. Feels like stuff that was not available before is now available. And this has been like working through a hard time, working through a difficult time. And that continuing to show up and not give up yields the promise of potential and opportunity availability here. And I also do feel too like, whether this just be all you or this be you with another person, some challenging aspect of this that may have been more so like one person's issue than it was another, or maybe a concern for a certain part of you, a specific part of you. It's now over. It feels like don't have to worry about that anymore because here's that opportunity. And you could have felt like just needing to break ground in a way that wasn't happening before. It feels like if there was some type of stagnancy or something wasn't moving now, this stuff is sort of there and available. So that's not really a concern at this point in time. Because it feels like as long as opportunity and potential is there, that's really all that's needed, because you see that things can happen. But it's like when you don't have that opportunity and potential there's nothing to really do. And maybe that's what was happening before. But now that stuff is here and available, especially in its most pure form of potential, these things are arriving to be able to be grabbed hold of and manipulated in the way that one wants to manipulate the energy. Like, use the opportunity, use that pure potential now. I feel too like there can be an awakening of creativity, or an awakening of, yeah, this is definitely a creative energy that I'm seeing here. It feels like a cycle of having the interest, having the draw, and then sort of putting the energy into that, like step by step or brick by brick. And then it feels like there's some type of catalyst that comes here that finishes this, that allows for a completion of the process. That it all started with magnetism, or it all started with some type of draw, or like wanting to create something. It can be an inspiration of some sort, a desire to connect or to merge with something, and then putting the work into that. And now I feel like this thing that becomes available, this potential that becomes available, it feels like it allows for the main goal to be accomplished now. But this could have been a concern because maybe there was like an unsure about whether or not that would be happening. And I'm definitely seeing a breakthrough. And I think especially on the side that really needed it here, with the energy that really needed it, where it can feel like something is sort of back in action the way that it needs to be, and things are moving now in a way that they may not have before. Because I feel like something was maybe delayed, or like there was a chance of like not really knowing what was going to happen, but then that's not a concern anymore. Like there could have been a question of what was going to come of something that one had been working on, and maybe being like, I hope that it doesn't, like this doesn't happen, I'd rather that this happens. And it's like whatever the concern was or the worry was, I'm not seeing it be a thing anymore. Yep, so things are moving forward. There could have definitely been a need to break things down and analyze them as far as what was taking place. I'm seeing a review process as well. Yeah, for a lot of you, I am seeing this be connected with a partnership. Venus can also indicate relationships. Like just somebody that you've been working on something with here. Learning through the doing, through the participating. Yes, whatever needed to come together. This can feel like really a breath of fresh air, because I get this notion of now everybody being on the same page again when maybe that wasn't the case before. Feeling like everyone's in a place of understanding. And I think also not taking something that has potential and then running through that. This feels more like a pacing of things. And also being patient for the right opportunity to strike. I do feel like too, things have broken down and feel like they're in a place of balance again, where maybe that wasn't how it was feeling initially. So with that being said, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.